All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair a meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir on the 24th of this month in New Delhi. 7th International Yoga Day to be celebrated tomorrow. Prime Minister to address the lead event in the morning. Centre to begin free distribution of 75% of total COVID vaccines to all states and union territories from tomorrow. Over 27 crore 62 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. Karnataka relaxes COVID-19 restrictions, shops and hotels to operate from tomorrow. Telangana government lifts lockdown completely as corona cases decline in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to begin distribution of free ration for 3 months to poor and migrant workers from today. Jammu and Kashmir police busts a major narco-terror module in Uri area of Baramulla district. 10 persons arrested. Sneha Rana and Tania Bhatia take India to draw in one-off women's test cricket against England. Bad light forces early stumps on day 2 of the World Test Championship final between India and New Zealand. And in the Euro Cup football, Germany thrash Portugal 4-2 in Munich. Spain-Poland match ends in 1-1 draw. As many states are relaxing lockdown norms, we advise our listeners not to lower their guard as the COVID-19 pandemic remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold a meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir on the 24th of this month in New Delhi. Centre has invited 14 political leaders of Jammu and Kashmir, including 4 former chief ministers. The political leaders received the invite for the meeting over the phone. Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla reached out to the J&K leaders to invite them to the meeting at PM's residence to discuss the future course of action for the Union Territory. This is the first such exercise since the Centre's decision of revoking Article 370, a provision that granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir and its bifurcation into Union Territories in August 2019. The meeting is said to be a part of the Centre's initiatives to strengthen political processes in the Union Territory. Union Home Minister Amit Shah and other Centre leaders are also likely to be present at the meeting. Early on Friday, Home Minister Amit Shah, National Security Advisor Ajit Dobhal and top security officials met in the national capital to discuss various issues regarding Jammu and Kashmir with Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha will interact with DDCs, BDCs and Panchayat representatives once every month. The move is aimed at taking good governance to the grassroots level and strengthen the participatory democracy. This initiative of the government will lay a platform for the elected representatives for voice the aspirations of the people and area-specific needs for ensuring equitable development for all. More from a Srinagar correspondent.
The Jammu and Kashmir government is making all-out efforts to make Panchayati Raj more vibrant institutions in the Union Territory in true sense. Taking feedback from the PRIs on the functioning of the administration, execution of the works on ground, besides getting the first-hand information about their concerning issues, are some of the key aspects of this monthly interaction. Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Department will formulate a mechanism for holding interaction of the Lieutenant Governor with all 3 tiers of Panchayati Raj institutions, including DDCs, once every month. Mr. Sinha has directed the Deputy Commissioners and the concerned officers to ensure that PRI representatives are an integral part of every government function, accorded due protocol, and involved at every stage of planning and implementation of the developmental projects. Sunil Kohl, AIR News, Srinagar.
In Jammu and Kashmir, police have busted a narco-terror module in Uri area of Baramulla district and arrested 10 people with a huge quantity of heroin and arms and ammunition. Baramulla SSP Rais Mohammad Bhatt said that the recoveries include 4 pistols, 10 grenades, 21 lakh rupees in cash, 9 kilograms of heroin worth 45 crore rupees and 4 vehicles. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the main event of the 7th International Day of Yoga tomorrow. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, the lead event of the International Day of Yoga this year will be a televised program and is scheduled to start at 6:30 a.m. on all Doordarshan channels. The event will also include an address by Minister of State for Ayush Kiren Rijiju and a live yoga demonstration by the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga. The yoga demonstration will follow the Prime Minister's address, which is scheduled from 7 to 7:45 a.m. The live yoga demonstration will be further followed by messages from 15 spiritual leaders and yoga gurus. The main theme of International Day of Yoga this year is Yoga for Wellness, which is aligned to the current preoccupations. The missions of India abroad are coordinating various activities in the run-up to the Yoga Day in their respective countries. Yoga Day will be observed in about 190 countries globally. The United Nations General Assembly UNGA proclaimed 21st June as International Day of Yoga IDY in the resolution adopted on the 11th of December 2014.
In order to strengthen and further ramp up the COVID-19 vaccination drive in the country, the centre will tomorrow kickstart the free distribution of 75% of total COVID vaccines cleared by the Central Drug Lab to all the states and union territories. This includes vaccines for beneficiaries of all age group, including those between 18 to 44 years. The procurement of vaccines by the centre, which is currently 50% of the total doses cleared by the Central Drug Lab, will be enhanced to 75%. The vaccines will then be given to all the states and union territories for administration to people of all age groups. Remaining 25% of vaccines can be purchased by the private hospitals, who will be able to charge a maximum service charge of 150 rupees for a single dose after the fixed price of the vaccine. The announcement regarding this was made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 7th of this month in his address to the nation.
21 जून सोमवार से देश के हर राज्य में 18 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र के सभी नागरिकों के लिए भारत सरकार राज्यों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन मुहैया कराएगी। वैक्सीन निर्माताओं से कुल वैक्सीन उत्पादन का 75% हिस्सा भारत सरकार खुद ही खरीदकर राज्य सरकारों को मुफ्त देगी। यानी देश की किसी भी राज्य सरकार को वैक्सीन पर कुछ भी खर्च नहीं करना होगा।
After commencement of this policy, the states and union territories will not have to pay any amount for the procurement of vaccines, as centre will bear all the expenses for the same. An early estimate suggests that the new policy will cost the centre over 15,000 crore rupees more than its previously allocated 35,000 crore rupees for the vaccination program in the current financial year. The centre will also pay the GST of 5% on the vaccines procured, making vaccination at government facilities completely free for all eligible beneficiaries. The country has successfully administered over 27 crore 62 lakh vaccine doses so far. Health Ministry informed that more than 33 lakh 72,000 vaccine doses were given in the country yesterday on the 155th day of the largest vaccination drive. Out of this, nearly 29 lakh beneficiaries were given the first dose, whereas over 4 lakh 71,000 beneficiaries received their second dose. Health Ministry confirmed that so far over 5 crore 50 lakh doses of the vaccine have been given to the people in the age group of 18 to 44 years. So far, over 22 crore 52 lakh people in the country have received the first dose of the COVID vaccine, whereas around 5 crore 9 lakh have been fully vaccinated with both the doses.
India reported 60,753 new cases during the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry said a total of 97,743 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. This has taken the total recoveries across the country so far to over 2 crore 86 lakh 78,000. The national recovery rate now stands at 96.16%, and daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 37th consecutive day. A total of 1,647 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to over 3,85,000. Uttar Pradesh has become the first state in the country to conduct more than 5.5 crore COVID tests. Despite new cases coming in very small numbers, the state government is conducting around 3 lakh COVID tests per day. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
In last 24 hours, only 294 new COVID cases were found in the state, while in the same period, around 2,73,000 COVID tests were conducted. Maximum number of COVID tests are being done in rural areas of the state, and out of 5.5 crore COVID tests conducted till date, 65% were conducted in rural areas. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has decided that from now on, the relaxation in COVID curfew will be applicable to those districts only where total active cases will be below 500. Earlier, the limit was 600. Currently, COVID curfew has ended in all districts of the state, although night curfew and weekend curfew is continued. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, over 1,32 lakh people have been vaccinated so far. Out of this, 33,64,000 are from the age group of 18 to 44 years. Meanwhile, state government is carrying out awareness campaign to vaccinate more people. Asghar Imam Qadri, a well-known Sufi saint of Aurangabad district, has appealed to the people to come forward for vaccination without any hesitation.
कुछ लोग अफवाह फैला रहे हैं कि वैक्सीन लगवाने से 2 साल के अंदर मौत हो जाएगी, तरह तरह की परेशानियां होंगी, ये सब गलत बातें हैं। दुनिया के सारे लोग मर जाएंगे तो फिर रहेगा कौन? ये किसी की साजिश नहीं है। वैक्सीन तमाम मुसलमानों ही को नहीं बल्कि पूरी दुनिया के लोगों को लगवाना चाहिए।
In Madhya Pradesh, efforts have been made on war footing for vaccination of the maximum population to prevent the third wave of corona infection. 7,000 vaccination centers will be set up in the state for the vaccination campaign, and 14 lakh vaccines will be available in the state on June 21st. More from a Bhopal correspondent.
A target of 10 lakh vaccinations has been set in the Vaccine Maha Abhiyan on International Yoga Day, 21st June. Additional Chief Secretary Health Muhammad Suleiman has informed that the supply of vaccine has increased in the state. For the next 10 days, the state will be getting 50 lakh vaccines. Vaccination centers will be relocated from the villages and wards where the vaccination will be completed. State government is also on alert regarding new variant of virus. Approval has been granted for 112 oxygen PSA plants in the state. By August 15, almost all the plants will be functional. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Telangana government has announced lifting of lockdown completely from today onwards. The decision came in the wake of decline in number of COVID-19 cases and positivity rate in the state. More from our correspondent.
After considering the reports by medical and health officials that the number of COVID cases came down in the state and pandemic is under control, the state government opted for reopening of all sectors. The strict lockdown was in force from May 12th onwards in the state, and lockdown relaxed for extended hours from 9th of this month. With the lifting of restrictions, the Hyderabad Metro Rail services will resume close to normal operations from tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Markets, malls, entertainment and others will free from restrictions from today onwards. Meanwhile, the educational institutions will be open up for offline classes from 1st July onwards, and guidelines for the same are under preparation. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa announced relaxations in lockdown norms in 16 districts of the state where COVID positivity rate is below 5%. These relaxations will be effective from tomorrow and remain so till 5th of July. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Based on the Technical Advisory Committee recommendations, lockdown norms are relaxed in Bengaluru urban, Yadgiri, Bidar, Kalburgi, Belgavi, Mandya, Koppal, Chikballapur, Kolar, Gadag, Raichur, Bagalkot and Tumkuru. All business establishments will remain open till 5 p.m. in these districts. Buses and metro rail will start operation. Parks will be open from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hotels, clubs and restaurants, lodges and resorts can operate with 50% sitting capacity without air conditioning. Outdoor shooting of films and TV serials and outdoor sports without spectators allowed. Shopping malls, swimming pools, places of worship and public events will not be allowed. Night curfew and weekend curfew will continue. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Centers ask states and union territories to take strict action against those who assault healthcare professionals. It has told them to register institutional FIRs against assaulters and fast-track such cases. In a letter to state chief secretaries and administrators of union territories, Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla asked them to invoke provisions of the Epidemic Diseases Act where applicable to check the incident of threat or assault on doctors and healthcare professionals. He also reiterated that a close watch must be kept on any objectionable content on social media which may exacerbate such situations.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair a meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir on the 24th of this month in New Delhi. 7th International Yoga Day to be celebrated tomorrow. Prime Minister to address the lead event in the morning. Centre to begin free distribution of 75% of total COVID vaccines to all states and union territories from tomorrow. Over 27 crore 62 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. Karnataka relaxes COVID-19 restrictions, shops and hotels to operate from tomorrow. Telangana government to lift lockdown completely as corona cases decline in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to begin distribution of free ration for 3 months to poor and migrant workers from today. Jammu and Kashmir police bust a major narco-terror module in Uri area of Baramulla district. 10 persons arrested. Sneh Rana and Tania Bhatia take India to draw in one-off women's test cricket against England. Bad light forces early stumps on day 2 of World Test Championship final between India and New Zealand. And in Euro Cup football, Germany thrashed Portugal 4-2 in Munich. Spain-Poland match ends in 1-1 draw. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back. You're listening to the morning news. Uttar Pradesh government will start free ration distribution to around 15 crore beneficiaries of economically backward sections from today. Under this, state government will provide 5 kg food grains for June, July and August month free of cost. Government will distribute 3 kg of wheat and 2 kg of rice to ration card holders of Antyodaya and eligible households at around 80,000 PDS shops across the state. The distribution will continue till the end of this month, and government will also provide sugar on reduced rates to the beneficiaries. This will be in addition to the ration being distributed under PMGKY. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already announced that distribution from PMGKY will continue till Diwali, which will enable beneficiaries to get 10 kg of free food grains in a month. Food Commissioner Manish Chauhan said that ration distribution will be done through ePOS machines after Aadhaar card authentication. Union Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said that the nationwide Jaan Hai to Jahan Hai awareness campaign will be launched tomorrow to create awareness on corona vaccination in rural and remote areas of the country. The campaign also aims to crush and curb the rumours and apprehensions being spread by some vested interests regarding the ongoing vaccination drive. Mr. Naqvi said that the Ministry of Minority Affairs, along with various socio-educational organizations, NGOs and women's self-help groups, will launch the awareness campaign.
The Education Ministry has released guidelines for parent participation in home-based learning during school closure and beyond. These guidelines emphasize on the need to create a safe, engaging and a positive learning environment. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said that home is the first school and parents are the first teachers. He said these guidelines aim to provide information about participation and engagement with children during the school closure. These guidelines provide many simple tips for parents and others to facilitate children in home-based learning. These suggested activities are in accordance with the various stages of school education as per National Education Policy. Buddhism in Ladakh has given the region a rich architectural and cultural heritage. Ladakh is very famous for its monasteries, which is called Gompas in the local language. On the occasion of Golden Jubilee Year of All India Radio Leh, our correspondent has filed this report.
Each of these monasteries celebrates its annual festival, which are not only very popular among the local population, but these monastic festivals are known internationally as well. Mass dance, which is locally known as Cham, is considered a form of meditation and an offering to gods and goddesses. The annual 2-day monastic festival of the most famous Himis monastery, Himis Thishu, is being celebrated from today. The festival is held to commemorate the birth anniversary of Guru Padmasambhava. However, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, this year too, the Himis Thishu festival is limited to only rituals. With Ramesh Chandra, this is Phuntsuk Wangmo reporting from Leh, Ladakh.
Gujarat government has given in-principle approval to a scheme worth 102 crore rupees to prevent marine salinity entering into the coastal villages of Saurashtra. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has approved the scheme, keeping in view the long-term interest of lakhs of citizens and villages in the area. With this scheme, around 2,100 hectares of land in 23 villages of Gir Somnath district will become more fertile. Foreign leaders around the world have extended their congratulations to Iranian top judge Ibrahim Raisi on winning the presidential race. The Iranian Interior Ministry said that Raisi won the election with nearly 62% of the vote. His competitors have already conceded their defeat. The turnout totaled 48.8%, which is the lowest in the country's history. Appointed by the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei to the high-profile job of Judiciary Chief in 2019, Raisi was placed under US sanctions a few months later over human rights violations. With 34 days to go for the Tokyo Olympic Games, All India Radio today will take you through the life of veteran archer from Sikkim, Tarundeep Rai.
Born on February 22, 1984, Tarundeep Rai has been one of the mainstays in the Indian archery since the past 18 years. The Sikkim-born archer qualified for the Tokyo Olympics in 2020 following an impressive performance in the 2019 World Championships at the Netherlands. The trio of Tarundeep Rai, Atanu Das, Praveen Jadhav bagged a silver medal in the men's recurve event there. The three archers qualified for the individual as well as the team event at the Tokyo Olympics. Tarundeep was also part of the team that won silver medal at the World Championship earlier at Madrid in 2005. The 37-year-old became the first Indian to win an individual men's silver medal in archery at the 2010 Asian Games in Guangzhou, China. The veteran archer will be taking part in his third Olympics after the 2004 Athens and 2012 London Games. Tarundeep was recognized with the Arjuna Award in 2005 and was later awarded with the Padma Shri, India's fourth highest civilian award in the year 2020. AIR News from Sports Desk.
In women's cricket, powered by a gritty unbeaten 80 by debutant Sneha Rana and her unfinished 104-run partnership for the 9th wicket with Tania Bhatia 44 not out, India stole a draw in the one-off women's test against England at the County Ground in Bristol, UK. Sneha became the first Indian women cricketer to take 4 wickets and score half-century in test cricket. India lost 4 wickets for 24 runs to be reduced from 199 to 7 from 171 for 3 and were in danger of losing the match before the tea break. However, a 41-run partnership in just under 17 overs between Sneha and Shikha Pandey helped India stretch England and give some hope. Shafali was declared as the player of the match for her 96 and 63 in the test. In men's cricket, after the first day of the World Test Championship final was lost to rain, the second day allowed only 64.4 overs of play before poor light ended play with India 146 for 3 wickets against New Zealand at the draw of stumps. Skipper Virat Kohli was batting on 44 and his deputy Ajinkya Rahane on 29. The two have so far added 58 runs for the fourth wicket.
In Eurocup football, Germany thrashed Portugal 4-2 in the Group F encounter as Kai Havertz and Robin Gosens scored goals at the Allianz Arena in Munich, Germany last night. In Group F, Germany is now at the second spot with 3 points from 2 games, while Portugal is at third spot with 3 points from as many games. Germany will next take on Hungary in the tournament, while defending champions Portugal will lock horns against 2018 FIFA World Cup winners France. In Group E game, the match between Spain and Poland ended in a draw. Robert Lewandowski helped Poland save the day after Spain was leading 1-0.
Britain reported more than 10,000 coronavirus cases for the third consecutive day today, as there has been a 79% rise in the highly contagious Delta variant in the country in the past week. Britain has reported another 10,321 coronavirus cases in the last 24-hour period, bringing the total number of coronavirus cases in the country to 46,20,968. The country also recorded another 14 coronavirus-related deaths.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 39 degrees. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening. Temperature will hover between 13 and 26 degrees Celsius. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. Gilgit will see a clear sky. The temperature will hover between 16 and 35 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards night. The minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Dehradun will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Chandigarh will see a clear sky. The minimum temperature was 25 degrees and the maximum will be 37 degrees Celsius. The national capital Delhi will see generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees and the maximum will go up to 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Chennai will see generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will vary between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will see generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And Hyderabad will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature is 23 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 32 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Government invites J&K leaders for talks with PM on June 24th, leads the Asian Age. J&K outfits warm to idea of an all-party meet, leads Hindustan Times. Economic Times quotes the centre as saying, test, track, treat, step up inoculation to fight COVID amid unlocking. The Statesman, quoting AIMS Director Randeep Guleria, warns third wave in 6 to 8 weeks if COVID norms not followed. High Court directs NHRC to examine complaints of Bengal violence, informs The Hindu. In another story, the paper writes, Paras-led faction announces LJP's new national executive. Financial Express quotes Labour Ministry as saying no intent to delay minimum wages. ISI helping Taliban forge ties with LET, JEM to overtake Afghanistan, reports the Sunday Pioneer. And finally, the nation bids farewell to flying Sikh. Milkha cremated with state honours, writes the Tribune. The Pioneer, quoting Milkha, writes, I got 1 rupee for milk bill from regiment.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair a meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir on the 24th of this month in New Delhi. 7th International Yoga Day to be celebrated tomorrow. Prime Minister to address the lead event in the morning. Centre to begin free distribution of 75% of total COVID vaccines to all states and union territories from tomorrow. Over 27 crore 62 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country so far. Karnataka relaxes COVID-19 restrictions, shops and hotels to operate from tomorrow. Telangana government lifts lockdown completely as corona cases decline in the state. Uttar Pradesh government to begin distribution of free ration for 3 months to poor and migrant workers from today. Jammu and Kashmir police bust a major narco-terror module in Uri area of Baramulla district. 10 persons arrested. Sneha Rana and Tanya Bhatia take India to draw in one-off women's test cricket against England. Bad light forces early stumps on day 2 of World Test Championship final between India and New Zealand. And in Eurocup football, Germany thrashed Portugal 4-2 in Munich. Spain-Poland match ends in a 1-1 draw. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.